I ran to get here, but we're between a rock and a hard place. Is really a mess.
Officials had set a deadline of March 31st for a framework agreement to control Iran's nuclear ambitions. However, after intense negotiations, obstacles remained on uranium enrichment, where stockpiles of enriched uranium should be stored, limits on Iran's nuclear research and development, and the timing and scope of sanction relief, among other issues, according to the Associated Press.
All right, so basically it sounds like we're shelving this thing till June, because I know we all really want to hear more about the Iran deal and the secret negotiations. Sounds like it's going to be a framework agreement, not a final agreement. It's all about words and trickery. I read a lot. I'm on Twitter and all that stuff. I don't know who to trust with this thing at all. So first up, June. Do you think that makes any difference, really, pushing this thing? They've been talking about this for years. Do you think adding 3 months is going to help us get there?
I guess the real question is, what is the intelligence that we have that says that they are closer than ever to actually producing a nuclear weapon? Because it sounds like the Obama administration thinks that the restrictions that are going to be in place, that kicking this thing down the line is actually going to extend the amount of time that it would take for Iran to produce something.
Right.
But as you said, we've been talking about this for years. Why is it all of a sudden Iran's like, oh, we should make nukes?
Right.
That's a great idea.
So isn't this all about who you trust? Like everyone keeps saying, does the U.S. trust Iran? Does Iran? But it's like, I don't even trust our media to report on it properly. So how are we, as like normal people, how are we supposed to decide who do you trust when it comes to listening to this stuff?
I mean, I don't think you can really trust anybody anymore. Like they've been saying Iran's close to making a bomb for the last 25 years. It's like, what are they doing? Some like tantric bomb making in Iran?
Right, they're building so very slowly.
They're so close. It's like eventually, like, when's it gonna explode? Like, when's it gonna happen? But
yeah,
like at this point, how do you even take it seriously? Like, to me, it seems like trying to get a development deal in Hollywood. Just like you keep getting the details. It's like, well, they want to develop this script like now. It's like, well, let's do this, take 3 months and like decide what we want to do here. It's like, well, we'll wait a year. And it's like they take your development deal away and you're like, I fucking hate Iran.
I like how you made the nuclear weapons in the Middle East about your development.
Yeah, it's the easiest correlation for me.
You have to make things.
I feel their pain. It's like, you just want to get this script made. And they're like, but.
Yeah. So is part of it that they've literally, everyone's been talking about this for so long, like that's why this seems so ridiculous to me, because literally people were talking about this in Congress in the 80s, and we're still talking about it. I don't know that it's any scarier now. Maybe it is scarier.
I think for me, part of the real situation here is that, like, who are we to tell another nation, and granted, I don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons.
Right.
I don't think that's a good idea.
So there's a philosophical part and like a real part,
but
right?
Yes, who is America to tell other nations that they are not allowed to enrich uranium, that they are not allowed to stockpile these weapons, when we are the world leader in nuclear weapons, and we're not willing to even meet anybody halfway? I mean, I remember watching Countdown to Zero, that amazing documentary about disarmament, like 5 years ago, and just crying because I was just so depressed by the fact that we are not setting a good example here. And the truth of the matter is, it's easy when we live in America and we sit on this cushy couch to go, oh, we would never make a mistake with the bomb. We're more responsible than that.
We're
but
like
Iran, they're fucking crazy.
Right, so do you see that distinction? There's like a philosophical thing where it's like, well, who are we to tell anyone? But at the same time, I don't think any of us want Iran to have a bomb, right?
No, I feel like we've become, like, America is the rest of the world's parent, and they're our kids off to college, and we're like, hey, if you want my money, this is what you're gonna do. You're not gonna date that guy, you're not gonna go to that party, and I'm gonna keep paying your tuition. So it's like, if you wanna make a bomb, fine, but you won't get any money for us.
But to further that analogy,
by the way, that's exactly what my parents said to me when I went to college. They were like, if you want to keep the money, you can't have a nuclear weapon.
Though, which is smart of them. If we are the parents of the rest of the world, we're like the crack addict, abusive parents.
We're the worst parents. Like,
and the
we're the
like,
do as I say, not as I do parent.
Exactly. Like that's something we have to remember, is as much as we're like, Iran should not have a bomb, think about all the Iranians who are probably going, who the fuck are you to tell us?
It's like, we have the bomb because we know what to do with them. We're going to keep them safe. But you can't have a bomb because we don't trust you.
And by the way, we're not only the only ones that have used them.
Exactly.
But we use them more than once.
And not just that, we are also like excessively using drone strikes. I mean, force and America and force like go together like peanut butter and jelly.
If we start talking drone strikes right now, this thing will never end. Anyway, nukes. Should Iran have them? Do we have any right to tell them not to? What should the world do? And who do you trust? Let us know in the comments right down below.